39 minutes ago on LinkedIn, Mr. Alfred Kahn. The introduction of the VeVe beta app reminds me of some initial results when we started testing products such as Pokemon and CPK. And you know what happened to them. Just posted, give that a like. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Software Engineer K here, and today I wanted to address what's been happening in OMI, why I am extremely bullish on OMI, and why I kind of anticipated current sell-off, and mainly why I believe that a sell-off is a good thing for the short term, and why I would prefer the price staying low for now, because I know that, in the long term of things, OMI is going to be set to outperform the market. So as of today, OMI did wick down to the $0.007 range, and that was actually my first entry point when I first bought OMI. So well done for those of you who did manage to buy in that price. I did set a pending and I have got a bit more OMI now, so I'm happy with that. And like I always say, don't buy at one price. Don't put in all of your capital in at one price. You should try it and dollar cost average. So if the price goes up, then well done, you're in profit. If it goes down, then you can buy again and decrease your average price. So OMI as of today, it is currently sat at a low. I don't believe it is going to go much lower, but if it does, I believe it's going to hit it could come down to anywhere around here, just below 0.007, potentially even down to 0.005. Now, moving forwards, why I believe OMI is set to outperform the market, and the way that I've gone about evaluating OMI is the same way I've evaluated stocks, same way I've evaluated other assets as well, is I try and compare them to similar assets on the market, and the easiest one is Flow. And Flow, for those of you who are aware of it, or probably for those of you who are not aware of it, it's the blockchain behind NBA Top Shots. And I have actually bought into NBA Top Shots myself. The current market cap is sat just above 1 billion. You can see it's moved up again. And NBA Top Shots, it's one brand, it's NBA, and NBA is extremely popular, don't get me wrong. Now, if we compare that to the market cap of currently OMI tokens, so OMI is at about 1.3, approaching 1.4 again. It did drop to 1.2 billion. Now, my first impression is Flow, I would say it's reasonably valued. I do see it going up in the future just because I see this whole market moving upwards. Compared to OMI, where it's only slightly higher, about 30% higher, they've got a whole multitude of different brands, so they can tap into various different markets. They've got a product that is still evolving with a lot of functionality. It's not the same as what NBA Top Shots has. They did have a bit more of a mass market early mover advantage, which is okay. But I believe OMI coming up now, they're going to really grab hold of people who are into all of these digital collectibles, specific to brands, because we know other brands are coming. We know that Marvel's already been teased. I believe that is going to be coming this month. And we know that there are different types of collectibles coming. So those who did have the bug with the Ultraman NFTs being oversold, we are getting artworks, and David, you had confirmed there are going to be artwork NFTs as well, along with the regular drops, and we're also going to get blind boxes as well, which are kind of like booster packs, kind of like the NBA Top Shots. So I believe that right now OMI is horribly undervalued, which is a good thing for me because I want it to, in the short term, stay undervalued just because we can burn more OMI tokens. And we're going to be burning a lot more OMI tokens next month because we have more drops. We've got different types of drops. When we have the ability of converting OMI to gems, then I believe that is going to help us out because more people are going to be converting their gems to OMI and then using that OMI. And the secondary market is rolling out in beta. So right now, we only have certain users who have access to it. But if you can see just how much of a markup, how much of a premium these NFTs are selling for on the secondary market, for example, the Golden Ghostbusters logo, that has a confirmed sale at 10,000 gems, which is $10,000 worth of OMI. So people are having to buy gems. And if you have followed my previous videos, or if you are aware already or not aware, gems are essentially just a UI layer over OMI. So if you're buying 10,000 gems, you are actually just buying $10,000 worth of OMI tokens. Now, that's just from a valuation point of view. Why I am still super bullish is the team. And for those of you who have briefly looked at the team, this is a point that I made before. When I looked at OMI's GitHub, I was looking mainly to see what their GitHub looked like. They do have a private code base now. During the ICO stages, it was public, but who I found contributing the most to the GitHub was this guy, Michael Duffy, and he is actually the CTO. And this is what I've said before, is when your CTO or any executive is contributing to the development of a product, they're not just someone who grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth, they had a lot of money, they invest in this, take a back seat and pay people to do the work for them. When they're actually involved in developing the product, they know from a technical point of view, they've actually contributed to the code. That a product like that will always do well. Good example is Tesla. I was really bullish on Tesla from quite an early stage, and if you look at Tesla now, it is, even during the dips, is still outperforming the market. And that's because Elon Musk, he is an engineer himself. He can contribute to, well, he has contributed to the development of the products, SpaceX, Tesla, Starlink, etc. So that is one major point, and I'm going to come back to this in a second, but if we look at the other members, we have Alfred Kahn, who you guys already heard enough about. He's the head of licensing. He's got years of experience in the industry. The CEO, David Yu, he's got years and years of experience in the industry. A lot of cryptocurrency projects that did fail, they were set up by people who didn't have a very good track record. You know, they were fresh graduates from university that just decided to get together, try and create some kind of cryptocurrency startup. Some do actually do well, but 99% of them do actually flop. So these guys, because they've got a track record of success, they are not set up for failure. I can say that for certainty. Now, this is quite interesting. Ben Godenzi, he is advisor to GoChain and advisor to OneChain. And we know that OMI is built on top of GoChain, which some people didn't really like, but this is probably why, because Ben Godenzi was an advisor to GoChain. And we can just, dig deeper and deeper into the background of the people who are managing OMI. But this is good enough for me. They have a fantastic track record. They're not set up for failure. Now, moving on to in terms of the team and what's been going on right now. And there's been a lot of, I would say, a lot of fear and uncertainty and doubts. So, for example, there have been people claiming that they've been getting hacked. They've had their NFT stolen. And if we just go back to Michael Duffy, the guy was a tech lead at KPMG. KPMG is one of the big four accountancy firms. Anyone who's a tech lead is going to make sure that an application doesn't have, basic exploits for hackers to take advantage of. These people who do claim that they were hacked, quotation marks, hacked, they most likely fell for phishing scams, and there have been loads of phishing scams with VeVe, an insane number of phishing scams. So if we just go down to this website here, so OMI Burn, so what they do is they report how much OMI is being burned, and we can see that, there's been quite a lot of OMI being burned recently, but they did actually retweet a post on this. So here, VeVe presale, all of this is this VeVe.exchange site. This is a phishing site. If you go in there, you enter your details, expect to have whatever NFTs you have stolen, and people have reported that happening, and I can guarantee you that they fell for some kind of phishing scam. They've given away their details online, because just ask yourself the question, why would someone spend their time hacking a very specific individual who doesn't have that many NFTs? Okay, like, yeah, they've got some, but not that many. There are people out there with way more who have just looked after their accounts better. Someone who was tech lead at KPMG advising, and he's not the only software developer, there are other developers, and there are packages for managing security now. It's not easy to hack people anymore. It just blows my mind why people think an app like this is so easily exploited, and if it is so easily exploited, why would they go for the people with small accounts, random accounts? They would go for the big ones. It just makes no sense to me. So yeah, there is a lot of fear and uncertainty and doubt with regards to VeVe, but I would say don't worry, it's fine. It's just people who haven't followed best practice, they haven't done the due diligence. And the same goes for what happened with Uniswap. There was another alternative OMI token that some people had put money into. It wasn't WOMI. WOMI was what you were supposed to purchase. Now, moving forwards, we know that VeVe, they have loads of great updates coming up. We have the new artwork drops. We have 2 drops next week. We've got the Mermicorn and Delorean. That's going to be more bonus token burn. We've got the marketplace opening up, and like I said before, that means more people are going to be buying OMI, which means in the form of gems. And we've also got a big announcement coming up with a partnership, and again, that is going to set OMI up very, very nicely. And if you look at where the valuation is right now, I believe it is oversold. So if you have any excess capital, OMI, I would say for me was a very good buy. I bought some more at the dip. It's up to you if you want to buy more, but that's just what I'm doing. So we've got quite a lot of good stuff to look forward to. In the grand scheme of things, I see the current dip as just being a tiny little blip on the chart. Long term, I see OMI outperforming the market, like I said. That's just how I evaluated it. And they've got a working product, and I have to say that being a software engineer myself, the amount of stuff that they've developed in a short amount of time, how much they're giving out to the market, and just how well that they've responded to all of these, phishing site scams, all of these FUD rumors, etc. They're very, very active on their social media, and they've got fantastic customer service. When I had that bug, I didn't expect to get an email with compensation and also, them refunding my gems. I just expected them to say, sorry, here's your gems back. That's it. So I would say as a company, they're doing all the right things. You can expect things to go wrong, but as long as they take the right action and address that correctly, then I have no qualms with them. Companies like Amazon, Google, etc., they pay their software engineers hundreds of thousands to resolve problems to do with, for example, concurrency. So being able to manage multiple users at the same time, and that's what happens with VeVe when they have a drop. They have loads of users logging at one time, so you can expect things to go wrong, especially in such an early stage. So I'm expecting things to go wrong, to be honest, and that's perfectly fine. In the long term, I'm expecting them to iron out any sort of minor bugs here and there, and it's a great investment in my opinion. It's up to you if you want to hold or sell, I don't really care. But for me, I would say OMI is definitely a solid project backed by a solid team with a solid use case and definitely a solid future market valuation. So that's essentially what I want to go through, just address some of the concerns that everyone had. People thinking OMI maybe it wasn't a good choice, maybe it's maybe it's a scam, etc. But hopefully this has reassured you. So yeah, I will keep you guys updated with what's happening. Again, like I said, I do expect a V-shaped recovery, OMI to recover in the coming weeks, and aiming for a retouch on that all-time high. When it does hit that all-time high again, I do expect another pullback in the short term before we break and go for possibly a new support around about the 2 cent level. Again, I've said that same level before, so we'll see what happens. But thanks again so much for watching, guys. Please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.